So I know we are still at the top of the year, and some of you have made resolutions, you have made goals, you have things that you are aspiring to do for 2025, and a lot of you may have health and wellness on the list. And so we're excited to have you here today on episode 752 of the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, where our topic is being well to work. Being well to work well, plant-based living for women entrepreneurs. And we're excited to have back by popular demand, Penny McPherson here in the virtual studio. So we're going to have a quick intro, and don't you move. You'll be right back here on the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show.
Whoa. Why y'all so happy?
You don't know? Sharvette Mitchell is on the radio.
It's time to get motivated, excited, and influenced. Why? It's the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, live from Richmond, Virginia. And now, here to motivate, excite, and influence you, Sharvette Mitchell.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, broadcasting live from the capital city of Richmond, Virginia, but heard and seen all across the World Wide Web. Thank you for those that are checking us out in our live streaming on a couple places in Facebook, on LinkedIn. Hey, Instagram, glad to have you here. Certainly YouTube, y'all are always holding it down, always getting it piping hot over there. And then certainly those that check us out later in our podcast, Apple Podcast, you always at the top of the list. But listen, I'm telling you what, Spotify, we're not leaving you out. And newly added to the list, Amazon Music and iHeartRadio. Thank you so much. Shout out to Buzzsprout as well. You might be checking us out from there. You might say, Sharvette, I just kind of keep up on Sharvette.com. Like, that's the easiest way for me. Like, we're excited to have you here as always. We invite you to comment and let us know that you are here live. Listen, I got to shout out my family, always over hanging out with us over on YouTube. Hey, Kim. Hey, Deborah. Hey, listen. Hey, Bobby. I see you coming on in. Welcome. Good evening to everyone here on the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. We do want to give like a quick shout out and like farewell, goodbye to the Blog Talk Radio platform. Our show has broadcasted on Blog Talk Radio since 2008. I know, count it up, right? Since 2008. And Blog Talk Radio really is what brought us to the internet. This show started live in studio in Richmond, Virginia, Rejoice Radio, and we transitioned to internet radio with Blog Talk Radio. Well, they are hanging up their hat, closing their shingle, and going on to do some other things as of January 31st. So we want to say thank you for those that were faithful listeners on the Blog Talk Radio platform, but we have tons of ways for you to listen and continue to engage at Sharvette.com. Shout out to my mom. Hello. Welcome. Thanks for being here. So let's jump right on in with today's topic, being well to work well. Plant-based living for women entrepreneurs. And listen, our guest is in the virtual studio. So let's go ahead and jump right on in. Thank you so much, Carla R. Jenkins, for retweeting on Twitter. We see you. So Penny McPherson, wildly recognized as Plant-Based Penny, is a distinguished international speaker. She's an author and a wellness coach specializing in holistic wellness and plant-based living, with a successful career as a vice president in the banking industry here in Richmond, Virginia. Penny transitioned into wellness in the wellness space really after a transformative 2-year sabbatical abroad. And during this time, she was able to immerse herself in global healing practices, really studying with renowned holistic health experts across 3 continents. Her speaking engagements really emphasize plant-based living. I see hearts coming in already. Plant-based living, holistic healing, and practical strategies that empower individuals to look, live, and feel well. You can see and read her full bio. Look down below in the show notes, wherever you're listening or watching, or on Sharvette.com. Put your hands together. Put your hands together. Coming up to the mic live on the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, Penny McPherson. Woo! Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here, Penny. And listen, back by popular demand. So certainly no stranger at all to this platform and to this show. And I'm so excited that we get to have this conversation with you. I feel like right at the top of the year. And listen, you got some friends. Listen, welcome from Wakanda. We're glad to see you, Wendy. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Johnson, for popping on in. Hey, Dana, coming on in. Yes, fruits and vegetables. My sister Kim, thank you. All right, so let's jump on in, and I would love for you to catch up the audience. Since the last time you were here, kind of tell us like what are some of the things you've been doing and working on, and places you've been.
Certainly. Oh my, I'm so happy to be back with you again, Sharvette. And you deserve your whole round of applause as well. For those who don't know, after going through the Platform Builders program, I have been to many places that my talents and God has blessed me to go. I've been speaking at conferences. I was in Chicago at an international conference for Black Girls Run, spoke for the Virginia Community Health Workers, their state conference, and at many different events and also at retreats and just wherever I am booked to go, I go. Sometimes I can't go everywhere that I'm wanted to go.
Yeah.
That's okay. And of course, my regularly scheduled broadcast on Wednesdays at 6 p.m., which is The War on Wellness.
All right. Awesome. Well, we certainly want to jump right on in, and I would love, just to talk about and really start off talking about, why does wellness matter in particular for women entrepreneurs, women small business owners, which is a large part of our population that listens.
Certainly. It's interesting because, women, we wear a lot of hats, we're doing a lot of things, and we are pulled in many different directions. And we always want to do because that's just kind of our nature. We kind of have that nurturing nature, and we want to be able to check those things off our list. But women are twice as likely as men to face stress-related diseases, and just about every disease can be linked to stress. Stress can either exacerbate it or cause it. So 6 out of 10 adults, they have a chronic disease, and a lot of those are preventable with lifestyle. And then you even have doctors now who are getting their medical degrees, but they're also getting their naturopath degrees because they're starting to recognize that there is an intersectionality between the two of those. And so doctor's visits for fatigue, for stress, for anxiety. We've seen it either in our personal lives or we've seen it on news, on broadcast. And good health is going to give us more energy. It's going to give us more focus. It's going to give us more mental clarity. And there's an African proverb that says that he who has health has hope, and he who has hope has everything.
Oh, wow. That's so good right there. And certainly for women entrepreneurs, like you said, those levels of stress and coming from a lot of different angles. And so with our topic today, if you're just popping in, episode 752 here, and being well, to work well, plant-based living for women entrepreneurs. Now, let's just start right off. Some people might say, well, what do you mean by plant-based? Can you share what that means?
Yes, most definitely. That's a really good question because I am plant-based. I'm plant-based Penny. I do not beat people over the head and say that you must convert to being plant-based. Otherwise I'm not going to speak to you again.
Right.
That is not what I want everyone to do, is to take steps to be more plant-forward. But what plant-based means in particular is not eating meat or meat byproducts. And so that means that you can eat everything else. And a lot of people are like, well, what am I going to eat? I can't eat it. I can't eat meat. I can't eat cheese. I'm just going to die. Trust me, I do not just eat rabbit food. I mean, there are like 70,000 vegetables. And you mentioned in your intro that I've traveled all over the world.
Yes.
In the United States, we have about 200 or so that we regularly sell. And if you ask somebody, well, name 10 vegetables, they will be like, broccoli, peas. They might struggle to get to 10, but there's so many more. If we like visit the international stores and some of the larger grocery stores, there's a wide variety of fruits, vegetables, nuts, grains, seeds, legumes. There's so much more that we need to open our eyes to, so that we can have a variety of fruits and vegetables, and that'll help our gut flora, and that's going to help our antioxidants, and going to help our bodies fight disease.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I think that's why we're seeing like popping up like different types of markets, even here in the United States, Asian market, or different types of markets that are popping up, because people are looking for different things that they're not finding. I wonder why don't they carry more? That's probably another show, another discussion of why they don't carry more. Yeah, there we go. It's
all about the Benjamins. It's all about what can be mass produced at the lowest cost for the highest rate of return. But for us, when I was in banking for 34 years, and I taught people that their assets were their wealth, and now I teach people that their health is their wealth. And so we have to be our best advocates for ourselves, not what the conglomerates decide what they're going to sell us or what we should consume. We have to decide what we should and what's best for our bodies to consume.
Yeah. And so I know women entrepreneurs, may feel, and definitely during this immediate climate, may be feeling more anxiety, more fear, apprehension. And so what impact does plant-based living have on mental health?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And one of the things that I'm doing actually coming up this or in the next week is I have a spa event that's coming up that I can talk about later, because there is a correlation between our physical and our mental health. So it's not only what we're consuming, but it's what's consuming us at the same time. So what we eat, it impacts us mentally. So as far as our mental clarity, and we want to be, especially as women entrepreneurs, as business people, we want to be making good, solid decisions and better decisions and increase our productivity. And so it's going to give you mental clarity. Also, it affects our physical health. It lowers the risk of diabetes and heart disease and obesity. And so when we're able to have, the get up and go without pain, when we're not running back and forth to the doctor's office, we're not lining up our pills, in all of our pill bottles to have to take those throughout the day. Your mind's, if you don't feel well, your mind is on there. Even if you're doing your businesses and you're paying your bills and you're trying to get new clients, if you don't feel well, that's going to always be on your mind. There was a quote that I heard that we have many problems, but once we have a health problem, we have one problem. One.
Got to deal with that.
Yeah. And those are reasons. And plus energy and stamina. So we want to be able to wake up, get up, run about our day, as I mentioned earlier, because we have many hats to wear. So it reduces our inflammation. So we can run about our day without our ankles hurting us, and fewer sick days. So having to hold on to the pillow. We're in this part of the United States, we're in winter time. So being closed in and in closed places with people, there's viruses, there's germs, and we want to be able to boost our immune system so that we don't have to welcome that into our bodies.
So good. So good. If you're just popping on in, you're checking out the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. We're here with Penny McPherson, plant-based Penny, international speaker, author, wellness advocate, on episode 752 here with us. And so while people are watching and listening, can you let them know how to connect with you on social media and follow you and all that good stuff?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I try to keep it really simple for people. So it is Plant-Based Penny or Plant-Based Penny Life. My website is plantbasedpennylife.com. My Instagram is Plant-Based Penny Life. My Facebook is Plant-Based Penny Life. My YouTube is Plant-Based Penny. So you can just start typing and I should show up.
There you
Oh,
go. Show right up. Show right up. All right. So if someone's listening and saying, okay, this all makes sense. I want to have my mental stamina, my physical, all of that. What are some simple steps to get started? Like I'll hear people say like meatless Monday. They say, hey, I'm going to do at least a meatless Monday. Couple maybe simple steps of people who are saying, how do I get started in this plant forward space?
yes. And, I think one of the challenges that people have done when they've tried to do something better, whether it's exercise or changing their diet, is that they try to drink out of a fire hose, try to do everything at one time. And I advocate for my clients that they make one swap. So instead of the processed cinnamon, donutty, sugary, whatever it is, instead of that, fresh fruit. So instead of the soda, swap it out for water or infused fruit water. Okay. Make simple changes. Have a 1 day a week that you pick that will be meatless for you, whatever that is. If it's Monday, that's fine. If it's Sunday, whatever day it was, maybe not Sunday, but whatever weekday works for you, pick that day as your meatless day and then increase from there. Look at your plate. How much of it is made up of vegetables and the things that are good for you versus the meat. So start increasing the percentage that's on your plate of vegetables and legumes and greens and all of those wonderful, nourishing items that you could have on your plate. The other thing that I do is batch cook.
Okay. Yes.
As women entrepreneurs, people do not have every day to be in the kitchen trying to cook. Okay. It just will not work. And then you give up and be like, okay, Uber Eats.
Right.
So you batch cook. So whenever you're going to make something that you like, whether it's the pasta or whether it's rice or whether it's beans, whatever, batch cook, meaning cook in a large quantity, take out some of that and freeze it or put it in the fridge so that when you're ready to eat the next time, you already have it. It's already done. It's already cooked. You don't have to worry about, okay, I gotta bake this potato, and then sit here and it's rock hard and you're hungry. Right. No, instead of baking 1 or 2 potatoes, bake 4 or 6 potatoes, and just store those and pull them out. And so that you can just be rocking when you're ready to go. And so those are just some of the simple steps.
Okay, so I know somebody just said, oh, wait a minute. She said pasta. That sounds good. Oh, she said baked potatoes. That sounds good. So I'm so glad you use those, examples, because sometimes people just think, oh, it's just the lettuce that's on her beautiful background, which is actually her. She's the hand model. That is her beautiful photography. But that there is a wealth of things that people can cook. And it seems like definitely it's one of those things you have to plan. And I think anyone that is looking at their eating in general, you can't, if you don't plan and you walk out the door, there aren't a lot of vegan options. However, there are a lot of vegan restaurants and things that are popping up. Do you have any recommendations locally or anything even further out where if people are on the go?
Yeah, I suggest the Happy Cow app. And if you use that app, it will, because the restaurants are constantly opening and they also have vegan friendly restaurants. So it may not be just a purely vegan restaurant, but one that is vegan friendly, especially if you get a restaurant that has a chef and not just a cook. If you get to a restaurant, and for me, I've traveled all over the world and stayed committed to my plant-based diet. So in Singapore, in the Philippines, in Colombia, South America, when I go, I just ask the question, can you make this without the meat or without the butter? And sometimes the chefs are like, oh, good, I get to do something different. So ask the question. Don't be shy. Ask the question. Call ahead of time if you're going out with friends. And let me just say about that baked potato thing.
Yes.
The there is nothing wrong with the broccoli or the baked potato, but sometimes we will smother it with
Out your
things
amen.
that
Out your amen, listeners.
are the challenge. So you want to decrease the amount of smothering, so you can still see the vegetable through whatever it is that you're putting on it. And also they have plant-based options as well. So
Oh, great.
there are many, many options that you can do. And there's also another app that I just got. It's called the Yuka app, Yuka. And that one you can use to just scan the barcode and it will tell you if it has too many additives or chemicals, and it grades it on a scale of 0 to 100. Tell you what's good.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, keeping it rocking and rolling. And listen, I saw the hearts on that. Hey, Natalie, she's saying, hey, hey, Sharvette and Penny, thanks for popping in. And so I know that there are people. I want to definitely hear first of all about your event that's coming up. So tell us a little bit. I know that you have this great Pampering with a Purpose event.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Pampering with a Purpose is coming up on February the 2nd. I have 2 seats left. So it's going to be a boutique spa experience, and it's for ladies only. And it's an opportunity to experience the spa experiences. So the sauna or the float therapy or the sauna, float therapy, and the salt cave. Yeah. The salt cave. And so you can, which is halotherapy. And so you can relax, rejuvenate through those therapies. And then there'll be many workshops with live demos. I have Doris Carr of DC Artistry. She's going to be there, and they'll be doing some skin and lip treatments. We're also going to be having some of my curated herbal teas that I've handcrafted.
Wow.
And so it is a wonderful opportunity to rest, reset, to rejuvenate, because there's a lot of stuff going on in the world today, Sharvette.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff that we cannot control. What we can control is our reaction to it, and we can control being good to ourselves and self-care. Because
well
February is the month of love.
Well said. Hey, Auntie Val, I saw you pop in. So 2 seats left. That is, we have listeners all over. That can you tell the location, the date, time, all that good stuff?
Yes, thank you. I will be at Transitions Float Spa at Sycamore Square in Richmond, Virginia. It is Sunday, February the 2nd, from 3 to 6 p.m.
Wonderful. And how can people learn more, register, all that good stuff?
Yes. It's on my social media pages, and it's also on my website. So if you go to my website, plantbasedpennylife.com, go to my website, and there'll be a pop-up that'll come there, and you just click on the button. Make it really simple for you.
Really simple. And if you're listening, wherever you're listening, look down below in the show notes. If you're listening to the podcast version, look down below in the show notes. If you're hanging out at Sharvette.com or Buzzsprout, look down below in the show notes. We have links directly to Penny's website right there for you with no problem, and certainly on the screen. Thank you, Beverly. Say very informative. Thank you. Absolutely. And so I know that there are, people saying, how do I work with? Can I work with Penny? What type of services do you offer?
Yes, thank you. I offer one-on-one consultations and speaking engagements. And so that my speaking takes me all over. I am in the process of booking another opportunity that's coming up in the second quarter of this year. So I'm looking forward to announcing that. Make sure when you get to my website that you sign up and subscribe so that you can keep updated on what's going on. So I do speaking engagements, whether they're keynotes, workshops, or panels. In addition to that, I do one-on-one consultations. I have a couple coming up this week, and where I help people with the simple steps that they can take. So I help people move from problems to progress with natural solutions. And so there are options out there. You've tried taking a pill, paying a bill. Why not try something natural?
All right, try something. Now, would you say and I'm answering questions that listeners may have, would someone have to say, okay, I want to be plant-based to come to you? You have other options or can you let them know, like, if the person is willing or wants to come and work with you, will they have to go plant-based, or do you have other options too?
No, they will not have to go plant-based. I have a 30-minute free consultation that I do with all of my potential clients. And in that consultation, that is where we will talk about what your goals are, what is your why, and how I can best help you.
All right, wonderful. And I know you have some success stories, and so can you think of any of the recent clients that have, made some transitions that, really helped them?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I can think of she's a 45-year-old mother of two, and her name's Anne, and she eats meat, but we were able to modify her lifestyle choices, her consuming what she was eating, and just her holistic with her. She was happy that her blood pressure went down and that she had more energy, so she could go out to go walking now. So she had energy in order to keep up with the life that she had. And also Miss Maddie, who is one of my senior clients. She was just overjoyed and happy. She says she was so glad that the Lord sent me her way, because she did not like the pain, and she was having such discomfort with the challenges that she was having with her constipation and her bowels and her digestive system. She wasn't feeling well. She was in a lot of pain, and she was able to have relief with that as well. And so those are just two of them, and it gives me such great pleasure to hear the successes that people have moving from their problem to progress.
Wow, transformative work here, work here that you are doing, and there's no special pills or anything like that it's holistic. There's no shots, no discs if that's the route you went. But I just wanted to clarify, because there's a lot of stuff out there. This is holistic options that you work with.
There is definitely, it's natural. It is natural. And so these are either elements of the earth that we're using, or they're foods, and it's how we're applying them, when we're eating them, and what we're doing in between time, and not only what we're consuming, but what's consuming us. And so it is natural, and it is curated and handcrafted, in some cases, like the teas, for instance, by me. So.
Oh, right. And so last question for you, some women entrepreneurs may say, wow, it feels like it's going to take a lot more time. What do you say to the person that feels like, do I have time, or that entrepreneur or business owner to say, do I have time to be plant forward or plant-based?
I consulted actually last week with a CEO of a pretty large company organization, and that was one of her concerns as well. And one of the first things I said was that you make time for wellness, or your body will make time for you to be sick. So you have a choice. You make time now to maintain your wellness, or you will have to make time to maintain your sickness. And it is a step-by-step approach. So again, it's not drinking out of a fire hose. It's making simple changes that are sustainable. Because if you just try to do something as a fad or really fast, then it's not sustainable. So what I advise my clients to do is okay, there's lots of things that you want to do. Let's take this one step right here, make this, then we ride on that success and take the next step. And the next obstacle will become an opportunity, and the next stumbling block will become a stepping stone. And so that's why I consult with people, because everybody's not the same. Some people can quit smoking, for instance, cold turkey. Some people have to wear the patch. So everybody's not the same. That's why that initial free consultation is so very important.
All right. Well said. Great guidance. One more time, how can people follow you on social media? How can they schedule a consultation? How can they find out about the 2 seats that might be left for the spa? All the good things.
my website is going to be the place to go to make appointments, consultations, and to find out about these Pampering with a Purpose. And that is plantbasedpennylife.com. Plantbasedpennylife.com. And the social media, the Instagram is also Plant-Based Penny Life. The Facebook is Plant-Based Penny Life, and the YouTube is Plant-Based Penny. And so, yeah, on my YouTube, I have like hundreds of videos that talk about many different subjects. So feel free to subscribe and check that out as well.
All right. Great place to be there. Thank you so much. We're getting thank yous. Thank you so much. Great information. These might be some of your audience that popped in as well. Thank you for being here. Well, it is a wrap. Our time really flew. Yes, we're glad to have you. Flew on by, and we are going to keep our eye out on you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to keep our eye out on you, and we'll see you later on in the web.
All righty. Thank you so much. Be well.
Be well. Be well. Thank you. Thank you. All right. It is a wrap for today's show. Such great information. As always, here. Listen, we're kicking off the 2025 season strong, certainly in all various arenas for those of you that are our core audience, and those that may just found out, just say, hey, I just found out about this show and you're checking it out. I'm Sharvette Mitchell. I am the CEO and founder of Mitchell Productions. We are a marketing and professional development firm based here out of Richmond, Virginia. And I walked away from corporate America 2018, February 2nd, 2018. So I will be celebrating as of February 2nd, 2025, completing 7 years as full-time entrepreneur. Incredibly honored. I spent 25 years again in corporate America, now 7 years as a full-time entrepreneur, a small business owner, 7-time visionary author. We produce book collaborations. Penny has been featured in a number of publications and books, one of our past books. And so we actually have the 8th book collaboration that is, we are in the midst of getting that together now as far as pulling in our authors. So if you've thought about being an author, and it was daunting to think about writing an entire book by yourself, join me in my collaboration where you just write a portion and we take care of everything else. The title of the book is Prioritize Your Potential. And so you can jump to Sharvette.com if you're already hanging there in the contact page and connect with us to talk about that opportunity to be in our 8th book collaboration. And it is a wrap. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, great information. Thanks, Auntie Val. Thanks for being here. All right, it's a wrap. I'm going to see you all later on the web. Bye.
Live from Richmond, Virginia, you've been listening to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Catch Sharvette Mitchell every Tuesday at 6 p.m., interviewing all the stars you want to hear from. So until next week, stay motivated, excited, and influenced. This is the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show.